Hello, welcome Leonie to talk to me about how you found my course when you did it. Can you tell me what brought you to the course?
Hi, Ebony. Thanks for chatting with me. I really loved your course, by the way, just to start with that. So I'm really glad to be coming to talk to you all about it. So what brought me to the course? I had kind of reached a fork in the roads with my birth work sort of preparations. I was looking for a training course. I had been learning and soaking up everything that I could about birth for a long time, and I really felt like I needed some specific guidance from, I can do my own learning, but I really wanted to work with somebody in a sort of apprenticeship sort of style. I really like relationship-based learning. I wanted to work with somebody who was very experienced, who was holistic, who could kind of bring balance to what they were offering. And then I came across you and everything just slotted into place. My end, I had some, how the sort of universe gives you these little messages of things dropping into place. I remember we had a clarity call about whether it's the right sort of fit, and I just got loads of green lights. My end. I was really drawn to you because I know that you've come from a medical background, but you've come away from that, and I always find that people have spent a long time in a particular discipline, particularly the medicine field, to then say, actually, no, I'm looking for something different, and I bring something different. So I was really attracted to that about you in particular. And yeah, I just knew that you would be able to offer a lot of wisdom, and I really liked the idea of, holding hands with our elders. And yeah, you're an elder.
Thank you. That's really lovely. I love it. Thank you. I'm so glad. I was so glad to have you, and I knew you from Instagram, and I knew how important this work is to you. So it was a real gift to have you with us during the journey as well. So how did you find the actual sort of like the course? So there was some calls, some live calls that we did, and there was some online parts to the learning with like presentations that I did and some stuff to read. How was it for you?
I found it really enriching and nourishing. I really liked the fact that there was different, we learnt things in different ways. So the recordings were great because I do a lot of work like kind of in the middle of the night when the kids have gone to bed. So I found that really good to be able to just watch recordings whenever, and the same with reading all the materials and stuff. I really liked that it wasn't, the way that it was at the time was it was all open, and we could just dip into whatever was kind of cool, we were feeling called to, and whatever was sparking an interest. I really liked that because I don't personally work in a very linear way. Also I kind of dance around quite a lot, and I found that really, really great that it wasn't dependent on steps to get things. I loved the live calls. I really enjoyed the other members of the course. We were all from very sort of different birthy backgrounds, and I really liked that it wasn't just loads of the same thing, because we were all bringing different sides to a massive coin. So I really enjoyed that. I thought they were really well paced, really well spaced. We had a topic, if I remember rightly, but it was also, just kind of whatever comes. So I really liked the flexibility that you offered, that it was guided, but it was also open to sort of real life and to flow. And we could book on, couldn't we, to sort of pre-recorded courses and follow a schedule and stuff like this, but that I don't like that myself. I really like the sort of the live element, because I think when you come together in a group like the live calls, you never quite know what's going to come out, and whatever comes out is always meant to come out, and the topics are so vast that you can't ever really plan what you're going to learn about, and there's always more stuff to learn. So I really liked that they were open to whatever needed to come out, but then in the meantime we could go away and read and watch and learn and really dive into stuff. So yeah, I found it really nourishing, and there's just so much that you gave in that course. It's really, really great. Yeah.
And when you did it, it was over a period of several months, probably about a year or so.
Yeah.
That length of time, did that make a difference to you rather than it being over a short period of time?
Yeah, it was good for me, because lots of reasons. Like on a practical level, I know that there was a couple of calls that I couldn't make. I think the kids were, didn't go to bed or something. So, on a practical level, I really liked that they were more spaced out. It was over a longer period of time, which meant that I could really let things sink in and integrate. Again, it's just a personal thing, isn't it? But I don't work so well when it's really squished together and really intensive. I know some people like to do the 5-day kind of all day in immersive sort of things, but I'm much slower than that. I need to let things land and let things go in and mull it over in between calls and stuff. So yeah, that time was really, really good. And actually I needed a bit more time after that for it all to kind of land, and it was a couple of years ago now, wasn't it, that we were doing that. And I feel like now things are solid and it's just trickled down. So yeah, it's just a stylistic thing, but it worked really well for me.
What do you feel were the main sort of takeaways for you, and how has it impacted your work now?
So the biggest takeaway in how I describe your course to people, because lots of people have asked, I say that you never taught us how to be a birth keeper. It was not, it wasn't like a teaching course. You gave a lot of information and a lot of wisdom and resources, but you never were teaching us how to do the things. It was always, you've got such skill in kind of drawing it out of people who they are. And because, as I mentioned, on our particular course, everyone was coming from quite a different background. That wasn't an issue. That was a positive. And when I say backgrounds, I mean, different areas of birth work as well. There was a herbalist, there was an artist. It wasn't just, we're all very different. But you really, I think, facilitated us to find the birth worker within us and to really be comfortable in that, and to kind of explore our boundaries and explore what kind of work we wanted to be doing, where we could contribute. And I really, really loved that. That was my biggest takeaway, that there is no one size fits all for birth work, and that it's kind of drawing on your whole life to date. Like, it was a personal development course in a way. It was, obviously birth centered, but it was very much like stepping into yourself, and I really loved that. That was my biggest takeaway. And what was the second part of that question again? I've forgotten. How
has it impacted the work that you do today?
Yeah, thank you. So, well, it's enabled me to work in person, to go from this sort of theoretical vision that I had, that I wanted to be, to really putting down the stones, the foundational stones, to be able to actually go and do it. Because that's hard. I find that hard, coming from like the vision and the dream, because I think lots of people have an amazing or an awful time in pregnancy and birth and think, right, well, I need to change everything, then I need to be this person. But I don't feel like I have become a whole new person. I've just gone deeper into myself, and that's really come out in my work. I don't feel like I need to put this birth worker hat on. I can just be me, and that's the foundation for my work now. I feel much more confident in my boundaries and the people that I want to work with and the ways that I want to work, in saying yes to people and saying no to people. And yeah, I'm just really grateful because you helped a lot.
Oh, it's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I was so happy to have you on the course, and like you said, everyone brought something and contributed, and that's what made it so special, I think. So thank you so much, Leonie.
Thank you.